So, good morning, guys. Today we are going to start our lecture Resonance in the Series RLC Circuit. We have already studied that in the resistance, the phase angle difference between the voltage and the current is always 0 and the power factor is unity. In the pure inductive circuit, okay, whenever the circuit contains only L, that is inductance, okay, that is inductor. So in pure inductor, I am talking about this reason. In this pure inductor, voltage always lead the current by 90 degree, and for pure capacitor, I am not talking about these two elements. For pure capacitor, the voltage always lag the current by 90 degree. That means current always leads by 90 degree with respect to voltage in case of the circuit having pure capacitor. But what happens if the circuit having RLC, all the elements, all the RLC elements? What is R? R is a dissipating element and L and C are the charge storing elements. Okay, whenever these three elements are connected and we have to study resonance in the series RLC circuit, we all know these elements are connected in the series, so that's why this connection is known as series RLC circuit. And what do you mean by resonance? What do you mean by resonance? We are going to study. Okay, so what we have studied till now, that for any inductor, if I am talking about, this is just a rough work. I'm just whatever I will do here, you just consider that as a rough work, because that will be as behaves as a reference point for any pure inductor. Okay, for any pure inductor, what is inductive impedance? It is always mentioned by XL and its value is always equivalent to J omega L. Unit of this is ohm. For what do you mean by pure capacitor? If circuit having pure capacitor, the impedance will be capacitive impedance, because to add RLC, first of all, unit of all the elements should be same. We cannot change the unit of resistance. It is always by default it is in the ohm, but we can consider the capacitive and the inductive impedances. We can change the unit of the inductive and the capacitance, okay, in ohm. So XL value should be given as J omega L. This is for this inductor if the value of inductor is given by L, okay, and the frequency in the input supply is omega. Then what is the value of XL? It will be equivalent to J omega L. Unit will be in ohm, okay. And what is the value of capacitance, inductive capacitance? It will be 1 upon J omega C or minus J omega C ohm. It will be 1 upon J omega C. If we take J above, then it will become minus J, sorry, it will be minus J upon omega C ohm. Okay, the unit of this will be also in ohm. So now we can add RLC. That means the value, the unit of R is in ohm, the unit of R is in ohm, the unit of L is in Henry, the unit of C is in farad. Okay, so we have converted the inductance to the inductive impedance, that is equal to J omega L. The unit of this inductive impedance will be in ohm. Same formula will be applicable if the value of it is given as C and the input frequency is omega. Okay, input frequency is omega, then it will be 1 upon J omega C or either equivalent to Y minus J upon omega C. It will be in also ohm. So this is inductive impedance, this is capacitive impedance. Already the value of the unit of resistance is always equivalent to ohm. Okay, we can erase it. Okay, so now if we apply input as a plus minus volt, okay, V volt, if the current flowing into this circuit is I, okay, and if the elements are connected in the series, the same current will be flowing through each element. Okay, this is R, this is L, this is C, this is resistive impedance, this is inductive impedance, and what is capacitive impedance? It will be XC, or you can again clearly we can mention it, it is XC. Okay, so we have taken the value of XR equivalent to J, it is equivalent to R, XL value should be equivalent to XL j omega L, XC value should be equivalent to minus j upon omega C. We will consider this, this and this. So if we can mention Z is the total impedance, हम यहाँ पर बेसिक से स्टार्ट करेंगे. हम डायरेक्टली कुछ ग्राफ वगैरह ड्रॉ करना, हमारा सर्किट कैपेसिटिव होगा, इंडक्टिव होगा, हम कुछ नहीं स्टडी करेंगे. डायरेक्टली हम बेसिक से स्टार्ट करेंगे और हम सीरीज़ आरएलसी सर्किट के एडवांस लेवल पर जाएंगे. डोंट वरी, ये बेसिक चीज़ें आपको पता होंगी और इन बेसिक चीज़ों से किस तरीके से ग्राफ आता है, किस तरीके से आपका सर्किट बिहेव करता है रेजोनेंस फ्रीक्वेंसी से पहले, रेजोनेंस फ्रीक्वेंसी के बाद में. वी आर गोइंग टू डिराइव दोज ऑल थिंग्स. ओके, अगर मान लीजिए कि मेरा टोटल इम्पिडेंस Z है, ओके, देन व्हाट शुड बी द वैल्यू ऑफ Z? the value of Z should be equivalent to R plus j omega L plus minus j omega C. This should be the value, R plus j omega L plus, that means the resistive impedance, inductive impedance and capacitive impedance. Okay, it is equivalent to j omega L and it is equivalent to minus j upon omega C. We have taken from here. So the total impedance will be equivalent to R plus j, it is omega L minus omega C and the unit will be in ohm. This is the total impedance value. If we put, okay, we are going to draw the graph between total impedance to the applied frequency. We are going to draw the graph here. Okay, this axis is it's always x-axis, this is y-axis. On the x-axis we are going to take as a frequency. This, what is this? This is a frequency, and here we are going to take as a impedance value. Okay, we are going to draw the behavior of the impedance of series RLC circuit with respect to variation in the frequency. Okay, what happens if I put, what happens if I put omega is equal to very low? If my input frequency, if the input frequency in the circuit, okay, is very low, omega, the value of omega is very low. Okay, in that case this is the j omega L. If omega is very low, that means this will be very low, inductive impedance will be very low, and what should be the value of capacitive impedance? Minus j upon omega C. Omega is in the denominator term. Okay, if this omega is very low, then the capacitive impedance will be very high. This capacitive impedance will be very high. If this capacitance will be very high, so for the total impedance value, Z is equal to R plus j omega L minus omega C. Okay, just focus what I'm trying to say. If this inductive impedance is very low, so we can ignore this term. We can ignore this term because XL will be very low, but XC is very high. So we can consider this term and we can consider this term because the value of resistance is not the value of the resistance is not changing with respect to frequency, because resistance value is not depending on the frequency. So for omega is equal to very low, the circuit will be resistive and capacitive. Okay, and if it is very low, the value of impedance will be very high. If omega will be very low, the value of impedance will be very high, because you can fix the value of R, okay, but you cannot fix the value of 1 upon omega C. It depends on the value of omega. C value you can make constant in the circuit, it is given in the circuit, but if omega value is very low, that means this value will be very high, so total impedance will be very high. For omega is equal to less than, why? Because here it is omega is equal to 0 and here it is, I am considering omega is equal to very high. We are considering here omega is equal to very high. So for omega is equal to 0, the total impedance is very high. Okay, I am going to mention here. this will be very high. That means the graph may be look like, the impedance may be look like here. Okay, and if we increase the value of omega, the value of Z will be decrease. So that means this should be the graph. Okay, or you can clearly mention it. This should be the graph. Okay, now if omega, if I am again increasing the omega and omega tends to very high, if omega tends to very high, in that case what should be the value of XL? It is j omega L. If omega is very high, that means the value of XL will be very high. And what should be the value of XC? It is minus j upon omega C. If the value of omega will be very high, because it is in the denominator term, if omega value will be very high, then XC value will be very low. If XC will be very low, that means in that case what should be the value of Z? It will be R square plus omega L upon minus 1 upon omega R square and the under root. This is the model term, same you can use here. Now XC value is very low, so in that case you can ignore this term, and XL value is very high, so it is independent value. Now it is dependent value, but omega L value will be very high, so you can consider R and L. And for this R and L, we know that Z value again will very high. Why? Because the R value is constant, but omega L term will be very high. So in that case our impedance will very high. So this circuit will behave like when your omega value will very low, the impedance value was very high. If we increase the omega value, it is decrease. Now if omega tends to infinite, if omega value becomes again very high, in that case Z again becomes very high. That means graph will always look like this. I'm going to make this graph like here. The graph will look like this. Okay, Z high and here Z high. But what happens, there is a particular frequency. If there is a particular frequency, we all know the value of L, the value of inductor mentioned in Henry, and the value of capacitor mentioned in Farad. It is in Farad. Obviously it is in Farad. If for particular value of L and C, if the particular value of inductor and the capacitor, there is a unique frequency when the value of this XL or this XC may be equal in the magnitude. I am not talking about like in the positive or negative, because obviously this XC will be in negative and this XL will be in positive. So maybe there is a particular frequency omega, I can consider that as omega naught. There is a particular frequency omega naught where XL value may become to XC value. Okay, in that case that frequency may lie here between omega is equal to 0 and omega is equal to infinite, very high, that means infinite. The frequency will be look like here. Okay, the frequency where your inductive impedance will be equal to capacitive impedance, that frequency is known as resonant frequency. Okay, and this was the basic concept behind this circuit. Okay, at resonant frequency, at resonant condition, your inductive impedance is always equal to capacitive impedance. So this term will get cancelled and your total impedance will behaves like a pure resistive network. Okay, getting my point? At this frequency you can consider this as resonant frequency. You can consider this frequency as resonant frequency. Now please note one point. Before resonant frequency, your circuit was behaves when omega is equal to very low. That means before resonant frequency your circuit behaves like R and C. That means it was, I am talking about for this reason. Here your circuit behaves like a inductive, it is capacitive. Why? Because it is R and C. Before resonant frequency your circuit behaves like a capacitive network. Why? Because R and 1 upon omega C are in the picture. The very low value of j omega L is responsible for erasing this picture. Okay, and above the resonant frequency, when resonant frequency is very high, above the resonant frequency your circuit behaves like R and L. That means for this reason your circuit behaves like a inductive. That means R and L, and here R and C. Please remember this thing. At this resonant frequency circuit behaves as a pure resistive network, and in the pure resistive network your power factor of the circuit is always unity, and phase difference between voltage and current at resonant condition. Why? Because at this resonant condition this term will go and your circuit will only contain resistance. So at resonant frequency, at resonant condition your circuit will be like a pure resistive network. So the phase difference between voltage and the current is always equivalent to 0 degree, or you can also say current will be in same direction as the direction of voltage is there. Okay, so this was the derivation diagram of total impedance with respect to frequency. What happens if we try to draw the variation diagram of current with respect to frequency? We are going to derive here. We can erase all this now. Okay, first of all you should understand the unit of total impedance is in Z. Okay, now how can we draw the diagram of I? First of all we have to consider this circuit diagram. This is current, this is frequency. Okay, here the value of frequency is very low. Okay, and here the value of frequency is very high. Here the value of current is very low, and on the y-axis the current value increases. Okay, this is x direction, this is y direction. So we are going to derive the I with respect to W. Okay, please let me know, if I make the omega is equal to 0, what happens? If I make the omega is equal to 0, what happens? The value of XL, that is j omega L, becomes 0, and the value of XC, that is minus j upon omega C, becomes infinite. Why? Because if we put omega is equal to 0 here, XC becomes, this is XC becomes infinite. whenever the Xc becomes infinite, that means it is capacitive impedance, and impedance becomes infinite, that means it's a open circuit. Circuit will be open circuit. If it is open circuit, in that case the value of current will be 0. Why? Because in open circuit there is no close connection. If there is an open connection, then the current flowing into the circuit is 0. That means if omega is equal to 0, the current value will be 0. If omega is equal to 0, the current value will be 0. Okay, what happens if we make omega is equal to infinite? In that case, what should be the value of XL? It should be equivalent to J omega L, and if I put omega is equal to infinite here, it will become 0. Okay, it will become infinite ohm, and Xc becomes minus J upon omega C. If I put the value of omega is equal to infinite here, so Xc becomes 0 ohm. That means your Xc will behave like a short circuit and your XL will behave like an open circuit. So total circuit will be, equivalent circuit will be again open circuit. So again in that case your I value should be equivalent to 0 ampere. Here again it is 0 ampere. That means if I again increase omega is equal to infinite, then I will be become to 0. Now you may be confused कि अगर ओमेगा इक्वल टू की वैल्यू, ओमेगा की वैल्यू 0 है तो आई की वैल्यू 0, अगर ओमेगा की वैल्यू बहुत ज़्यादा कर दूँ तो आई की वैल्यू 0. ठीक है, सो व्हाट शुड आई डू? क्या मैं यहाँ पर आ गया आपको ओमेगा इक्वल टू 0, ठीक है, तो क्या मैं इसको डायरेक्ट यहाँ से यहाँ ड्रॉ कर दूँ? ऐसा भी हो सकता है. मान लीजिए कि बीच में कोई ऐसी फ्रिक्वेंसी हो, ठीक है, जहाँ पर आपके एक्सएल की वैल्यू आपके एक्सी के इक्वल आती है, बिकॉज आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू if omega naught is the resonant frequency, if I consider this omega naught as a resonant frequency, so at resonant frequency XL will always become to XC. That means now I will not write as omega L. Why? Because at resonant frequency I have to consider omega naught L. So the value of XL will be given as omega naught L and the value of XC will be given as omega naught C. Okay, so here if both impedances are become equal to each other, in that case your XL and XC will get cancelled to each other. Okay, and XR value will be in the circuit only. So due to XR there is a finite current. So in this middle value there is a finite current. So you can make this graph as like this. You can make circuit like this. Okay, at this frequency this will be I maximum. Okay, this is omega is equal to 0, this is omega is equal to infinite, and this is omega is equal to omega naught. This is resonant frequency. This should be the graph of I versus omega. Now we already told you from Ohm's law V is equal to IR or IZ for the impedance network. So I inversely proportional to Z. अगर मान लीजिएगा अगर आपका I जो है इन्वर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू Z है, अगर I की वैल्यू यहाँ पर ऐसे है तो ऑब्वियसली जो Z का ग्राफ होगा वो रिवर्स आएगा. तो Z का ग्राफ वी हैव ड्रॉन, वो कुछ ऐसा होगा. ठीक है, I की वैल्यू 0, Z की वैल्यू, I की वैल्यू 0, Z की वैल्यू बहुत ज़्यादा. दिस वॉज द ग्राफ ऑफ Z. I की वैल्यू 0, Z की वैल्यू बहुत ज़्यादा. I की वैल्यू यहाँ पर 0, Z की वैल्यू बहुत ज़्यादा. I की वैल्यू यहाँ पर मैक्सिमम, Z की वैल्यू यहाँ पर मिनिमम. और वो कितनी होगी? R के इक्वलेंट. ओके, और R की वैल्यू मिनिमम होगी, आपके I की वैल्यू मैक्सिमम हो जाएगी. यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं. वाई? बिकॉज अगर आपके R की वैल्यू मिनिमम होगी, Z की वैल्यू मिनिमम होगी, तो आपके I की वैल्यू मैक्सिमम हो जाएगी. Obviously you have got an idea what I'm trying to say here. So this was the graph of I versus omega. बहुत से लोग confused है कि ओमेगा नॉट की फ्रीक्वेंसी कैसे निकालते हैं. So let me again clear this topic here. I already told you if you are consider omega naught, okay, as a resonant frequency. So at resonant frequency, you are considered as omega naught. The value of XL should be equal to XC magnitude wise. Okay, so value of this, now the value of XL will be equivalent to omega naught and the value of XC will be 1 upon omega C. So here the value of omega naught will be equivalent to 1 upon root of C. It will be in radian per second, and if you want to take this reading in the hertz, then you have to consider this as 2 pi f naught, and it will be equivalent to 1 upon LC, 1 upon, it will be in hertz. Okay, so what should be the value of frequency f naught? It will be equivalent to 1 upon 2 pi product of LC under root. This will be in hertz. So if you put the value of L, if you put the value of C in this formula, you can consider, you can take the value of, you can measure the value of f naught, that is resonant frequency. At this frequency your circuit behaves like a pure resistive network, and for pure resistive network I will be in phase of V, or you can also say the power factor will be equivalent to 1. I also want to tell you one thing. There are 2 to 3 derivations are also there. It's not a small subject. Okay, don't consider, we are going to consider the topics according to gate level also. First of all, I have to tell you one thing. What is Q factor? That is quality factor. What is it? It is quality factor. The quality factor is equivalent to the ratio of, we can erase it also. Quality factor value is given as power dissipated in our circuit to the ratio of power stored in the circuit. I already told you before 15 minutes that this is the dissipating element and these are the storing element. So how can we calculate the power across any resistance? It is always given as I RMS square, okay, multiply by energy. It is energy dissipated in the circuit, okay, and energy stored. It should be here, it is equivalent to energy dissipated in the circuit to the energy stored in the circuit. Okay, here it should be equivalent to I RMS square RT, and here it should be equivalent to I RMS square XT. So the value of Q should be given as XT. Okay, it should be given as energy dissipated in the circuit and energy storage in the circuit. Just wait. I'm sorry. The value of Q is given as energy stored in circuit to energy dissipated in circuit. So here it should be equivalent to L and C are the energy storing element. So if I consider L, so here it will be I square XT multiplied by I square RT. So the value of Q is equal to X upon R. If X is equivalent to XL, then the value of Q will be equivalent to XL upon R, or if I make the XL equivalent to omega naught L upon R. Okay, if omega naught is the input frequency given to the circuit, or we can consider is as omega L. Okay, first of all, for RLC circuit, for RL circuit, for R and L circuit, you have to consider bandwidth is given by R by L. For RL circuit, the bandwidth is given as R by L. So here the value of Q will be equivalent to omega naught. We can write down here like this, R upon L. We can take L in denominator, and it is equivalent to omega naught upon, this is bandwidth. Okay, and we are going to consider bandwidth as del omega. Okay, so this should be the value of quality factor. That means Q is equivalent to omega upon bandwidth. Please remember this formula. This formula will be helpful in the upcoming numerical that we are going to discuss, okay, in the next lecture. This should be the value of Q, and it is equivalent to omega upon bandwidth. What do you mean by bandwidth? Again, I am going to clear here this concept. I am not erasing this topic, this content here. At this frequency, your circuit behaves like a pure resistive network. There are two frequencies also. There are two frequencies are available also, where your current will be half. These are the frequencies where your current will become to I max divided by root 2, and these frequencies are termed as omega 1, omega 2. Okay.